Hey guys, GNT here, and today I want to talk about issue 22 of Teen Titans. This comic continues to be the best book that I'm reading, and it's really weird because it wasn't before. They switched up this cast, and it got phenomenal. No joke. And by the way, before we even get into this, there will be spoilers if you care about that. So, let's check this out. The comic starts off at a cliffhanger. I mean, technically they're on a building, not a cliff, but still, they're at the edge. And there's somebody holding up a gun to a nurse's head, which, let me move this, and you can't see me looking at this while I look at it, but still, I thought that this nurse was a dude at first. I was like, man, that guy has some big lips. Oh, I'm gonna try to throw up the image just so you guys can see it, but I was like, this guy has some big lips, man. But apparently it was a female. Shocking. But yeah. It starts off there and they're telling her to, put the gun down, come back, ease off the cliff. And then the next page you see that, because, goodness, I'm skipping things. I'm saying things in my head and they're not coming out. Wallace West was explaining this stuff. He was monologuing and narrating, whatever you want to call it. And he was talking about how he basically wasn't there. Then they flash you back. They're like, earlier. And you see them talking about how, what was his name? Roundhouse, I believe it was. How he died in the explosion that happened last issue. Where I was like, of course he's not dead. They started this out there like, yeah, he's dead. I was like, what? No, not serious. It can't be dead. Come on. Which I'll get into that at the end of the video. But mostly Wally is grieving over Roundhouse being dead because he said, he's basically the reason why he's there. Why he was there. And nobody else seems to really care. Which, I'm not seeing it that way. I'm assuming they just can deal with it way better than he can because he's not a hardened person like the rest of them. I mean, you have Robin, raised by assassins. Red Arrow, who seems to be just made of freaking stone. You have Jen, which we don't know much about her at all. And then Crush, which Lobo's daughter. I don't expect any type of empathy from her. Just saying. Anywho, that's actually who was the biggest issue with getting Wally mad was Crush, because she was saying, you gotta move on and get past it. And he's like, it's barely been a week. So this whole issue was mostly Wally focused with the other characters sprinkled in here, because it was all, for the most part, him being able to get past someone dying and him thinking it was his fault, which kind of just got thrown off at the very end, but we're going to get to that. Anywho, the whole thing is, Robin still has people in the prison. He was, interrogating Black Mask, and Black Mask wouldn't give up the information that he wanted, so he started threatening the guy's kid, and then he was like, haha, I'll tell you. He's like, I don't know anything about the other one. I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see it. Black Man said, I don't know anything about the other one, but I did hear about a job that's going down. So that's how we got the mission that's happening for this issue, which was a heist at a hospital. Which at first I didn't think about the fact that they could, steal medicine and stuff. I thought that they were probably there to steal someone or something specific that was important, but they were just going to get freaking medication so they could just make money off of that, because it was Golden Glider. I shouldn't have expected much. freaking golden glider. So that ended up being their mission for this one, which another focus of this, I started to say chapter, of this issue of the comic is that they're trying to get teamwork together. And whilst trying to do this, the whole team was going up against Red Arrow, which at first I thought, wow, that's weird. But then they did what everybody does in everything. They went one at a time. It's like when you see a karate movie and there's like 50 dudes versus one guy and all of them go individually. I was like, you three have powers. Just jump her. Nope. That is not what they did. They went one at a time, and that's what she was telling them the whole time. You're not working as a team. And it was, oh man, it's wonderful. Like, at first, I thought she would be the character that I liked the least or that I really got irritated with, but goodness, she's growing on me. I like the way she talks, the way she acts. It's wonderful. But again, at the same time, it's still very similar to what Robin would do, which I'm believing that's why Robin was kind of absent for some of this, so his personality wouldn't basically clash with hers, to where you have two different characters acting just alike. So while they were doing their training exercise, that's when he was interrogating Black Mask, and afterwards they went to the hospital, met up, and they began the mission, and Kid Flash effed it all up. He was supposed to do some reconnaissance, go in there, get some intel, come back out. But because he's still feeling all crazy about, Roundhouse being jacked up, he decides that he's going to try and fix this all on his own before anything gets crazy. And it ends up being the reason why Golden Glider was able to get away. Which, the funny thing here is Golden Glider's on the cover of this issue, but she's only on like maybe 3 pages because she shows up and then she gets away. There was no actual focus on it, which I don't know if she'll like show up later, maybe like next issue or a couple issues down the road, and they'll deal with her and the whole theft of freaking drugs and whatnot. But it seems like that was just a small little device to keep the story going. I don't think her stealing that is actually important, and I don't think they're going to even care about it later. I would like to see them care about it and bring it back up, but who knows? It was basically a way to prove that their teamwork is absolute trash. And here's the thing. Golden Glider had a woman helping her that had chameleon-like abilities. Like, she's able to blend in with her surroundings. And it is, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't seem like they're trying to go villain route with her. Like, it seems like they're trying to introduce the a new character to DC, because I've never seen this character before, and they didn't give her a name, so, or at least if they did give her a name, I don't remember it. So I'm assuming they're trying to introduce a new character that could be like, I don't know, maybe an anti-hero or just a straight up hero without just throwing her into a book immediately, So it was a little weird, but she served her purpose. She actually helped me solidify feeling that this comic is the best one that I'm reading right now, because she was talking about how she did tours and stuff and got shot, I believe she said, and then they needed to give her a blood transfusion, and they gave her metahuman's blood, and that's how she got her powers. But she was saying how she was broke and she was just doing this one job to pay her rent, and I thought this was going in a totally different direction to where people were going to feel bad for her. But Red Arrow said, we all have problems, but we're here and you're there. Boom! I was like, there it is. That's what I like to hear from my heroes. Not some sob, oh, we understand, blah, blah, blah. No. Everybody has issues. That doesn't mean you become a criminal. And that's exactly what she said. And it made me feel so good inside. It makes me feel great that there's a team of heroes out here that aren't going to just let somebody go based on feelings. It was wonderful. Made me feel great. Also, speaking of feelings, by the way, seems like they're trying to build up something with Jen and Robin, which I kind of got the feeling of that last issue when she was talking about she has to have someone, command her to fully use her powers, and she gave him the ring, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a thing. So it seems like it might just be leaning towards a thing. Also, she gives off a lot of Raven vibes. Like the way she acts, it feels kind of Raven-ish. But she was basically telling good old Senior Robin. Senor Robin is what I was trying to say. I said senior. But Mr. Robin there, she was telling him about, if he had something he wanted to talk about, he could talk with her. And I was like, that's really nice. But you have communicators on. Because she was like, since we're alone here, and I was like, they have communicators on. They're not technically, whatever. Maybe they shut them off or something before they started talking. And then after they said all that sentimental stuff, they're like, we can hear you, right? The communicators are still on. They're like, oh, how much of it do you think they heard? All of it. That was awesome. Like, this book is just everything that I need in my life. It's wonderful. And I couldn't recommend it more. It's amazing. If you read one comic, it needs to be this one. This is the best one going right now. It has a nice team dynamic going on. They're not all getting along together, but they're not horribly at each other's throat at the same time. It's great. And I really love this book. And I actually love all the characters. Even Wally, who's typically his character type of this I feel bad stuff and I can't get over this, that usually irritates me. In this, it did not. I totally felt like it worked perfectly with the story. This is just an actual work of art. And I may just be saying this because comics have been so bad lately that this one is a breath of fresh air. But man, it's really good. And here's the thing. Like I said, I was going to talk about it later. Roundhouse is not dead, which was expected. They threw me off at the beginning saying he was actually dead, but I was like, last issue, I was like, he can't be dead. And at the end of this one, he wasn't dead. But here's the thing. What happened? Why is he at home? And what's going on exactly? Also, one other thing that I thought about when I looked at him, I was like, man, this guy is very Brainiac-ish. He's very, very Brainiac-ish from his, looks. So I was like, well, maybe it was a copy that he sent there to do the fighting and stuff. Like, I think he's like Brainiac-ish or part Brainiac or something, right? I don't remember. I don't remember anything about Roundhouse, so I think he said something about being Brainiac-ish. Or maybe I'm just making this up in my head because he looks like Brainiac. If Brainiac, was really fat. So that's what I'm going with. He didn't die because robot copy or something. But we'll see next issue. This one was really good. Also, by the way, Red Hood was in it in a new design. He was helping Robin with his interrogation and stuff. Which when Robin was talking to somebody, because he was at the docks just talking to somebody and they weren't showing who it was, I said there are only two people that he would actually talk to about his little secret prison. Then the way that I deciphered which one it would be, because I thought Nightwing, Red Hood, Dick Grayson, or friggin' Jason Todd. And here's the thing, I was like, the thing is, Nightwing, although he really likes Damian, he wouldn't go along with the whole keeping people locked up. So I said it has to be Jason Todd, Red Hood, you know, because he is actually down for that type of stuff, you know. I'm sorry about that. I rambled a little bit, so I just cut it out. Anywho, what I was saying was, it had to be Nightwing or Red Hood. I assumed Red Hood because Red Hood would be down with capturing criminals in his own prison and torturing them for information. Let's just be honest. That's something he'd do. So, when they showed that it was Red Hood, I was not surprised. However, I was surprised at his look. Which, I did a whole video on his look, so I'm not going to talk about it here. If you guys want to know my feelings on the new look of Red Hood, go check out the video. Anywho, as far as this comic goes, it is a 9 out of 10. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but it wasn't full on perfect. But it's freaking close. So, if you guys really want to read a decent comic, go pick it up. I recommend it wholly, 100%. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and hit that subscribe button. Maybe? Please? Okay. Well, I'll see you next time. Peace out, and have a great day.